Hi, Transformers. My name is Dan Tarker, and today we are going to be talking about motivation and the assessment of core personal goals. And this is to prepare us for the presentation on Thursday morning at 9 o'clock, where we're really going to unpack some of the information you gather through the activity I'm going to scaffold up right now for you and lay the foundation for, which is really taking a questionnaire that's going to help you make the invisible elephant you're riding more visible and transparent to you so that you can better pursue your goals and tap into a motivation potential that you might not know you actually have. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the learning outcomes for this activity. So after this lesson, you're going to be able to identify the connection between emotions, motivation, and goal seeking. So all of these three things kind of go together, and we're going to really dig into how that happens and why emotion is really the fuel, a triggering force, and feelings are a fuel that you can tap into to motivate yourself and to pursue your goals. You're going to learn how to take the assessment of personal goals questionnaire, which is housed at George Mason University. And we're going to learn a little bit about the researchers that developed that instrument. And then we're going to help lay the foundation for making sense of the results that you get from completing that questionnaire. So the the research from that informs this presentation and this training comes from a book called Motivating Self and Others, Thriving with a Social Purpose, Life Meaning, and the Pursuit of Core Personal Goals. We know, even in the workplace, and maybe even especially in the workplace, since we spend so much of our time there, building meaning around the work that we do is really important. And because we want to lead meaningful lives and feel that they're productive and that we're thriving. And the researchers are Martin E. Ford and Peyton R. Smith, and they published this book in 2020. And I started looking into this research as a teacher. I wanted to find out how we could motivate students during the pandemic, and it did provide some useful tools that I'm going to be sharing with you, because a lot of these theories can be a lot of this theory can be transferred into multiple domains: the workplace, school, your home life, wherever. It's really about tapping into what makes you motivated and what gets you energized to do things. So some key premises that we all have to be on the same page on that come from this book. And, I'm not going to recommend going out and buying that book. You can if you want. It's a highly academic text, but you can find it on Amazon if you want. But hopefully this will give you a thumbnail sketch of some of the main takeaways from that book. And one is that a motivation is an evolved feature in us. We've developed it over time through the process of evolution to keep us pursuing things so that we can survive, like on the savannah, going after wildebeest to eat, to thriving, where we're building civilizations and trying to find comfort in our lives through acquiring the things that we need to feel like we're thriving, whether that's education or buying a house or having a family, or whatever those things are that might make you feel like you're thriving. So the motivation is a feature of our evolution, as a product of our evolution. Emotions are the triggers that get us moving toward a goal. So if something happens, we have an emotional response, and then we start pursuing that goal. And then the feelings that emotions produce are the fuel that keeps us going. So that connection between emotions and feelings is really important. And another feature that we have as human beings is that we can project into the future. We can visualize what we want, and we can gain energy and feelings and trigger those emotions that produce our feelings by thinking about and visualizing the goal that we're pursuing, which is another thing that's really important for us to tap into. We are self-directed creatures, right? We get more buy-in when somebody is self-directed and that they feel like they have some personal agency. So really thinking about, if you go in as a command and control style leader and tell people what to do, they might go, yeah, I'm going to do that. But they're not going to have a lot of energy around it. But if they feel like they've been part of the decision-making process and they feel like uh, they understand why we're doing it and it connects to their personal goals, that's going to give them a lot more energy when they're going after a, a particular product or program that they're trying to develop. And then a social aspect of motivation. We are social creatures, so our socialization impacts that. And so we want to pursue those social rewards that we get when we pursue and achieve goals. And we often want to avoid the judgments or negative feelings that are associated with not achieving goals, especially when you're part of a team. So yeah, we are social creatures as well. And that's another important premise to consider when we're talking about motivation and goal pursuit. So I think previously I used this analogy around the elephant or the invisible elephant that we're riding. And so we're riding this invisible elephant. And I say that's invisible because it's our unconscious. We're often not aware of what is there, right? We operate like this rider under the illusion that we're in control of the elephant that we're riding, but often we are not in control of that elephant, and that elephant is guiding us toward the things it wants. And so we want to make that through this process. We want to make that elephant visible. We want to be able to feel its rough skin. We want to see its trunk. We want to hear the hoofs going plod, plod, plod wherever it's taking us. And if we can align with that invisible elephant, then we are going to be more able to capitalize on it and contribute to the decision to pursue different goals that we want to pursue or that our organization wants to pursue. So this is all a process about making that elephant more visible to us. And so when you take the questionnaire, it's going to present the findings in one of 5 categories on a scale from uninteresting to negative to highly compelling. And the highly compelling stuff is what really gets you out of bed in the morning and gets you excited to pursue the things that you're going to go after that day. The uninteresting or negative category are the things that just won't get you out of bed. You think about them and like, you know what, I'm just going to hit my alarm clock and go back to sleep. And both of those things are important to be aware of because you can reframe your thinking around different things. We know that. So if you have something that you're working on that doesn't particularly excite you, maybe you need to think about it in terms of those things that do excite you and kind of reframe your thinking around a particular project so that you can tap into your emotions and feelings to get that energy to pursue them. You will also get a list of, your personal goals. There's 24 of them. And so this is from this slide shows my top personal goals. And you'll hopefully find that some of them are surprising to you. Like for me, it was equity. I was surprised that that surfaced as one of my top core personal goals. So you might find some things that are surprising, and that's a good thing. And that's really going to make that elephant that you're riding much more visible. And hopefully there will be surprises for you. So it gives you it gives you the category, and then it also gives you a definition of that trait or that type of personal goal. And so you can reflect on what the findings are. And I know as I started to reflect on my core personal goals, or the ones that were most compelling for me, I started to see patterns in my life and go, oh yeah, I can see that now, whereas I wasn't completely aware of it before. So you have this personal goals activity that we're going to be doing, and the first thing is to do that questionnaire I've been talking about. So I'm going to bring that up right now so you can see it or see the web page. And then you have the web page here. It gives you some instructions and directions. And then you click on this link. It provides you with a Likert style questionnaire. Go ahead and complete that as authentically and honestly as you can. Don't be afraid of the extreme ends of the Likert scale. If you avoid those, then you might get skewed results. It's designed so people do answer on those polar points. So go ahead and do that, and you know. It takes about 15 to 30 minutes, maybe 20. So not a whole lot of time, but you do want to carve out a chunk of time to spend really digging into this so you get the best results that are useful to you for the rest of this process. And so once you've done that, I want you to look at the results, reflect on them, and then write a paragraph tying your personal goals that were identified, your core personal goals that were identified, to something at work or in your life or something practical that you've been thinking about working on, and see if there is a connection between those two things. And then write a paragraph about it. And when we meet on Thursday for the Transformers training, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into it and unpack what you've written in these paragraphs, and do a little exercise with them that will help you further understand how this works, and hopefully provide you with another tool that you can use to energize yourself and motivate yourself to pursue your goals. So thank you for watching this presentation, and I look forward to seeing you all on Thursday. Take care.